That was Prior, yes, sir. And you're rocking with the best, the number one radio station in the U.S. Virgin Islands, 101.3 Row FM. And you're now tuned in to A Different Day with Jah and
It's your girl, Neci.
We are back with another live broadcast episode, and we are excited. So thank you for showing up. If you're watching the live, please go ahead and share the live. If you're not, if you're on the road, you're listening, we appreciate you. But keep in mind that we also have the Row FM Plus, aka the Row and Seeing Difference live stream feeds are going right now. You could tune in, and that way you get to see any behind the scenes, anything that doesn't happen on the radio live. You could tune in there also. But hey, if you're doing it through the TuneIn app or on the radio, we still appreciate you. We love our followers, our supporters, and Row FM loves you. Hey, so we have an episode for you that's going to include some news, trending topics, and we have a special guest coming in a little bit later by the name of I-Bari Davis. We're going to get you familiar with him if you don't know who that is. All right. Neci, should we jump right into it, or you have anything to say before we get started?
Let's go.
All right. Here's the local news that's going on right now.
Dun-dun-dun.
Unfortunately, there's bad news. Quite a bit of it. First, we heard about the library getting robbed. Now, arsonists have set ablaze Just Right Trucking. They've set ablaze to the trucking dump trucks, trackhoe, and backhoe, which disrupts garbage collection services. I don't know why, when Bates is already, backing out due to non-payment of funds, anybody would take out more trucks. But hey, the coordinated arson attack destroyed critical equipment used for waste management in St. Croix, jeopardizing Just Right Trucking's ability to fulfill its contract with VIWMA, that's VI Waste Management Association, to service multiple island communities. A deliberate act of arson early Sunday morning left several pieces of heavy equipment belonging to Just Right Trucking irreparably damaged. The incident occurred at the company's Orange Grove property, where arsonists reportedly trespassed and set fire to a trackhoe, a backhoe, and 3 dump trucks. Neci, what are your thoughts on this? Things rough.
I mean, this is just a slap in the face to our community. Like, how this to help anybody? This don't help nobody. Like, none. All it does is set us back. They already have trash on the road that ain't being collected because of the gap that we currently have, and people dumping trash in bush and all kind of different places. And this isn't it. Whatever they thought this was going to resolve, ain't gonna happen. It's just not.
I can't
And
imagine.
it's sad. It's very sad.
What would be the purpose? Like, why would you do that on the island that you live that already having issues? Like Bates Trucking, the quote was the estimate of how much Bates was owed was over $700,000. Bates came out and said, no, that's way lower than it is. And now you have a potential, fill-in, might not have taken up everything, and this happens. Arson.
And what happened to the trash? Then they're gonna complain about the trash not being picked up.
Exactly.
But how are you gonna pick up?
I don't get it. I don't understand.
I mean, the coincidence of everything.
Mm-hmm.
But
who stands to benefit from this? That's the question. Who would even benefit?
That's what I'm saying.
Do you have a personal grudge against us, right? I mean, I don't know. I don't want to pull out.
I know who stands to lose. Us.
Everybody.
Us, the community. We definitely stand to lose. I mean, they just kind of reopened the Mamiju dump site January 1st because there really was no dump site between Peter's Rest and Campo Rico. There was no other dump site. Like, that, to me, that was crazy. So people were dumping trash all over the place on the side of the road and different areas, and it was becoming a real problem. This don't, man, skip me to January 2026 or something. I don't know what to tell you, but this is horrible, and it's disgraceful to us. Real talk.
This year has been, it started off pretty harsh.
I'm tired. It gotta be November by now. Like it gotta be. Like too much will happen. It gotta be November. Like
to be
my
clear,
God.
it's January 12th. To be clear, it just started.
You
But
sure?
yes, I am positive. I'm looking at it on my computer screen. But there's more. It doesn't end there. Prosecutors claim high-ranking officials from the Bryan administration manipulated government contracts, inflating invoices, and accepted bribes with recorded calls and millions of documents supporting the allegations. Millions of documents. Hey, woo! 2 indictments were issued by a grand jury earlier this week. The first, naming Mr. Martinez and Miss O'Neill as defendants, alleges that the former high-ranking government employees worked together with Mr. Whitaker to pad Mon-Ethos, there's that name, to pad Mon-Ethos invoices with bogus charges and push them through the procurement process. The extra money received from the government would then be spent, prosecutors say, on lavish trips, cash bribes, and other inducements for Martinez and O'Neill. The indictment, which describes the scheme in significant detail, includes alleged text messages and phone calls between the defendants and Mr. Whitaker. In one exchange, Mr. Martinez reportedly instructed Mr. Whitaker to pad a Mon-Ethos invoice submitted to the VIPD by $70,000. Mr. Whitaker also reportedly recorded meetings that he had with the senior government officials. One such recording, prosecutors say, captures Miss O'Neill agreeing to accept goods as bribes instead of cash. Well, at least she didn't take cash. The indictment against the pair comes amidst reliable reports of failed plea negotiations between the parties. Hey. And what comes out of that? Martinez, the former USVI police commissioner, files a civil suit accusing Mon-Ethos founder David Whitaker of fraud, as federal indictments detail schemes involving padded invoices, bribes, and insider deals. So now you got one of the defendants filing a civil suit against the head of Mon-Ethos. Sorry to report, the Department of Health has ordered Hotel on the Key in St. Croix to cease operations following confirmed Legionnaire's disease cases linked to its water system. Guests are urged to monitor symptoms while remediation and testing efforts are underway to ensure safety. They're really going old school with these diseases. So, Legionnaires? Legionnaire's disease is a severe form of pneumonia or lung inflammation, usually caused by infection. It's caused by a bacterium known as Legionella. Most people catch Legionnaire's disease by inhaling the bacteria from water or soil. Older adults, smokers, and people with weakened immune systems are particularly susceptible to Legionnaire's disease. All right. What do you want to comment on these these negative news? What you got to say here, Neci? You live on island. They got Legionnaires running. We're in the middle of a quademic. What going on?
You say it's January, you say?
I promise. January 12th. But it feels like January came quick. That's good news, maybe.
Does it?
Yeah, we almost halfway through.
I feel like we done did 257 of the year or something. I don't know. Tired.
Hey, Legionnaires, though.
One thing January to do with the, once some fireworks kick off, it's just all gas, no breaks, I guess. Because the year that I was start up hard, like this is crazy. I hope anybody who was affected at Hotel on the Key are recovering and doing well. If anybody did catch it, I'm glad to see that they are doing testing at these facilities to make sure that these things are being done, because I think that's important. I imagine if we weren't doing testing, so big up to DOH for actually being out doing testing in the community to make sure we're having quality water sources. And that Mon-Ethos thing is a mess.
What going on? Darren says, what going on? We were just going over the local news, going over the pay gate that going on, the fraud allegations and whatnot Hola, hola, what going on? Naisha, what going on? Hey, so if you want to weigh in, you can always do so via our chat. That was the news we got. I-Bari Davis coming in. If you don't know, you will know. We even got some music we're gonna play from the fam. A little snippet of one of his big tunes. I love it. You're gonna get to know him a little bit. We of course got trending topics because it's still a different day, baby. Stay tuned. We have more commentary. If you're listening, continue listening. Do not go nowhere. If you're in the live, please share the live so others can follow. We'll be right back after these messages. Stay tuned to 1013 Raw FM. What's up, Siobhan? You see what Janelle Sorrow posted? How could we not? It's hard to keep up because she be going in on them. She be going in on them, man. Swear. How could we miss it?
You know, I just think that I'm not even, not that I'm not disappointed or upset with the people who's being accused of these situations. I'm more disappointed in our governmental structure of how easy it is for people to continually get into these schemes. Like, it's one thing that you're making an effort to like try to deter the system and manipulate the system in your favor, but the consistency of people who continually to do it is just shows the lack of overall security or lack thereof in the process that this can continue to happen. If you understand what I'm saying. You know what I mean? Because I don't think it matters who's in there. If it's that easy for everyone to just come in to do it, then there's a problem with the process itself.
Now, you're 100% on point, because my thing is, right, when there's smoke, there's usually fire type of situation too, where it's like you're finding all these people that are linked to fraud and schemes. And usually if you're outside of crime, right, if you're outside of fraud, you don't deal in fraud, you wouldn't know who to go to commit fraud. But it's like back to back, we have these fraud issues, fraud. So it's either one of three things. It's either, by my estimation, this is not 113's point of view, it's either incompetence, greed, or both, or a mixture of both. What do you think?
I think you're missing. I think it's, for some, I work in compliance and I work in procurement, and I've issued big money contracts. So when I say there is a problem with the process, there is a problem with the process.
Okay, for sure.
And I want to be, I don't know the details, so I don't want to be pointing fingers because I haven't read any of the documentation. I haven't read the contracts. I haven't done any of that. So, but the consistency of theft that continues to occur in the government, willingly or unknowingly, because I want to be clear that sometimes when you're in positions where you have to sign agreements, you're not reading the 200 or 550 page agreement that came before you. You're trusting the people that you put in front to vet some of these things, that it was actually vetted, that the attorneys read them, that they agreed to the terms, that it's all valid. And then you're going to put your signature on it because you're the signator of that agreement. But you know it has to go through a process. So I want to be very clear about that. Like, sometimes because you're the signee is how you get caught up too, because you're not the one reading and approving the verbiage, but you're the one that has to legally sign, which is where you're trusting your legal team and so on, with the AG office and those other places, that they're reviewing these things, and your department attorneys are reviewing these things and making sure the verbiages are correct and the terms meet the governmental terms that we have to abide by before I sign. Because once I sign, who name on it? It's your name on it. And that's who name gets printed in these legal matters when it becomes public, because you signed or you're involved in the process of getting the contracts executed. And sometimes you could be blindly, not knowingly, that someone is manipulating the process. if you're not taking a more active role in understanding the whole process, you're only focused on your process, which you should be able to. But with how these things have been happening so consistently, it has to have another step somewhere, or multiple steps, I should say, that just is on a complete failure. For this to continually happen, it's a failure of the overall process, and it needs a complete overhaul.
I wish we could get someone that is knowledgeable of the process to really come
Mm,
on and really break it down, because
that ain't happening.
we don't want to talk out of turn, and we really
Mm-hmm.
do want to know. You know what I'm saying? Like, we're not talking just to batch people or anything like that. But it seems like if this keeps happening, it's not a
Mm-hmm.
coincidence.
Mm-hmm.
At some point,
No.
something's wrong and it needs to be fixed.
Mm-hmm.
We want to know, where is the issue? Is it possible that we, the citizens, is it something that we could do to help? Is there
Mm-hmm.
other stuff that that needs to be implemented? What's going wrong? Because we can't just keep voting, 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 and hoping for the best, and then the same thing happens every time. Let me read some
Agree.
of this.
Agree. And then I point out too, I'm not saying that these people aren't guilty or that they're
Mhm.
not actually committing crimes against the people of the territory. What I'm also saying is that there's a lot of things that goes into executing contracts, and
Mhm.
it's not always just face value what you see. Some people are being manipulative and taking money. We know it, we've seen it many times. And some people just, because of your role or whatever that may be, you get caught up in the whole conversation because you're responsible because of your roles.
Facts. Now, Darren in the chat says somebody make 200,000 in OT as an officer. I'm not
I'm
sure if
about to
that's.
sign up. Check me
I,
patrolling the streets.
hey,
Check me out.
I didn't want to see she in them pants, that go need arresting. But somebody made 200,000 in OT as an officer. Like, I don't know if he talking about the one that I saw, but I know there was a bike cop that was making that much, right? A bike cop, dog. But from what I understand, what I heard, so I don't want to be spreading no rumors, that was a very good cop, and he used to take a lot of other people's shifts. And like Siobhan says, every budget year, many officers make that. We do not have enough officers. It's true.
Mm-hmm.
There is an officer
Mm-hmm.
shortage.
Agree.
So,
Agree.
like, we don't need context too. We don't get a lot of the context that's missing, because there's an
No.
oversight issue,
Mm-hmm.
which is another problem. There's an oversight. There's a
Mm-hmm.
transparency issue. Like, there's just issues. Yeah,
But also, I want to be devil's advocate here. And I want to say is that sometimes if there's VIPD is a 24/7 role, 365 days a week, 365 days a year, I'm sorry, role. There is no holidays and days off for VIP. They have to work every day, all day. And I want to also say if somebody's out on leave, somebody's out on vacation, whatever, if I am the person that is aggressively always looking at filling spaces or shifts that are vacant,
hold
and
on,
that
hold on,
puts me in
hold
a
on.
higher.
Hold up, hold up. Welcome back to another episode, another live broadcast of A Different Day with Jah and.
It's Neci.
We're here on 101.3 Row FM, bringing you the local news, which is what we were discussing before the break. So we'll go back over briefly what we were talking about. Keep it locked here. We also have I-Bari Davis, a local St. Thomas artist that's coming in, and we want to talk a little bit, not too much. Not too much, because I'm sick of the word. We're going to talk a little bit about brand music, soca, calypso soca, and other trending topics as we do. But Nisi was making a point before we came back. You're making a point regarding, we have a current corruption scandal going on with 3 former elected officials. Were they elected? Appointed government officials
Mhm.
that are now facing federal charges. So what was the point you were making? I'm sorry.
No, the point was making was the VIPD, some of the officers in terms of their take home pay was posted on social media. It's been circulating today heavily. People have been noticing some of the OT that the officers are making and so on and so forth. And to, I think it was Siobhan's point that we do have a shortage of officers working, patrolling our streets. There is a problem with that. And I was also pointing out that it's VIPD is a 24/7 role. There is no days off for holidays and, so on and so forth. So if someone is out on leave or someone's out on vacation or whatever that may be, there's a gap in a shift and someone has to fill in those shifts. So if you have an officer who's aggressively filling shifts to cover shifts, if that's what they want to do, and someone else is just like, I'm going to work the shifts that I'm working, and I ain't really worrying about all no OT and I just doing what I'm supposed to do. You always have two sides of a coin. There's people who are going to be aggressive in working overtime to make more money, and there's people who won't. And there's people you have to work certain times for certain occasions, and that happens. Now, is it an exorbitant number? Absolutely. But again, when you have a gap, and they seem to have a big gap, that's why they're recruiting really hard and trying to get these graduates to these classes, not quickly, but of course safely as well, to put them on these streets. That's another thing too. Like, we don't have enough people that's really wanting that role, understandably. But what are you gonna do then? Leave the shifts empty and not have people on the streets, or let the people work the overtime and make the money? They have to patrol the streets.
So it's a double-edged sword, because
It is.
if you don't have those people, taking the shifts and out there, then we lose coverage. And who's covering the island? You know what I'm saying? So shout out VIPD. We know you guys work hard. Like Neci said, it is a 24/7 job. You catch a lot of flack from people. Hey, I personally, you stopped me before. You know what I'm saying? And I called up, but I ain't vexed with you. I vex more with the ones in the States. I want to just say that there. So we appreciate you. We understand that you work long shifts, and that's why a lot of you are making those what seems like inflated paychecks. You get what I'm saying? Because when people see those things, they're comparing it to their own. You get what I'm saying? They're comparing it to how much they're making and the local average and whatnot. You check? So let me get to some of these comments. Yeah, so Darren had said somebody made 200,000 in OT as an officer, and that's when Siobhan Thomas, Esquire, said every budget year, many officers make that. We do not have enough officers. So someone had mentioned, I see what Janelle Sorrow posted, and another commenter said she'd be coming with the facts, though. She does. Big up Janelle, queen. Our AG should be ashamed that the feds have to come over them to make arrests. Well, we need oversight. They're in a position to do so. Who gonna check them? Feds. We have
I think just a correction for that though. When you have federal cases, they do have oversight over the OG, so the AG. So once it's a federal case, the feds is who's going to manage the case. They're always going to be the top of the ticket.
We have an internal problem with corruption and everybody's silent. Where are the senators? Who are our checks and balances? Are they not following our monies? So if legal counsel, aka King, we have a big problem. That's why there's legal counsel. These people are on messages asking for bribes. Yeah, it's millions of documents, man. Definitely not the best criminal. I'll say that. Allegedly. Another commenter says, what took me out? Allegedly, the former police commissioner came up with a scheme in a police mobile command. You can't make this stuff up, even if you tried hard. Hey. They were recorded by the same con man. And what's crazy, now the police commissioner is suing him. That was one of the news reports that we read. So he turned around and now he's suing the Mon Ethos guy in a civil suit. Oh, before I get slandered, BC, I'm giving you a special hello. He doesn't get it. He doesn't understand it. He doesn't get it. Another commenter. So from a vendor standpoint, the bids are put out in a website. You're supposed to put in your bid, and bid is supposed to be open by P&P in front of all the vendors. This administration hasn't done regular bids for years, only on what they want to. Hey, Neci, that man say if you take the If you take the VIPD job, they're gonna start calling you pants instead of glasses. Cause you're gonna be busting out.
Hey,
I watch out for me seeing VIPD pants. Eh? All right, what else we got? He just went into office and they were being investigated from before. Plus, isn't there an AG for the district court also? All right. So I gone over all of them there. Anybody want to weigh in before we bring the guest who is waiting backstage so we can introduce him?
I just want to say, like, I know we just said, you're innocent until you're proven guilty. Some people some people guilty off the jump because it's just apparent. In other cases, we have to give some people grace. But it's gonna be one of those drawn out things that we gotta keep our eyes on. And as a community, it's our job to keep our foot on it to ensure we're getting justice from it. So that's my 2 cents.
Boris. On that note, we got somebody backstage that can't wait to meet you and for you to meet him. Hey,
Meet
here we
me?
go.
Hi.
I-Bari.
Yo, blessings, how everybody doing?
We go.
Good. How are you?
I good. Good to meet you.
You
Good
look
to be
good.
here. Good to be a part of the
here.
conversation.
We appreciate you joining. So basically, can you first tell the people who you are that may not know?
Testing, 1, 2, whoa. Oh yeah. Some of you might be aware, but if not, it's real from the toes to the head top. I-Bari, Rastafari, no dreadlocks, and I still eat meat, so forget everything I said about Rastafari. I just can't find anything better to rhyme it with. I'm a singer-songwriter from St. Thomas. I've written a couple songs throughout the soca realm, about 31 songs placed, and I currently working on more songs and also releasing my own music as well. But to be honest, I ain't nobody special. Pun intended. Album available everywhere now.
I like it. Keep plugging yourself. Promote yourself, yes. Now, why we brought you on? That was a great introduction, by the way. Because
thanks, man. Thanks.
I think you're the first St. Thomas artist that we've had on this show, not necessarily on the podcast. So big up yourself. You're representing well. Kita, we still gotta figure out her intro because she wasn't coming right, but I think you may have set the bar. So thank you.
Nice. It's one VI, but you don't know. Big up St. Thomas.
Big them up. And the carnival coming soon. I know Neci gonna be over there shaking her VIPD pants.
The way it's supposed to be.
Exactly. All right. Now, the reason why we brought you on, right? Because this week, there's been I don't even know how to describe it. There's been a conversation going on. There's been a topic trending on VI Facebook ever since Swanks made a post. It set VI Facebook on fire, right?
Yeah, that was his control voice apparently missing. Yeah.
Hard. We ain't gonna go into what has transpired since he made the initial post. We gonna just go over the Bram conversation and the music conversation, because you've made it clear you're not necessarily a Brammer, a Bramster.
I am not a practitioner of the Bram. I'm not a Brampert. I am not a Brammerer. Because we still workshop in things, so I don't know what it's called.
Right.
But yes, I am not yeah, no, I would never even say I'm not even close. I'm adjacent, maybe. I don't know. Juxtaposed in some way. But yes, I might have a few things to say, but I just wanted to put that out there before. Yeah, I-Bari went on there and you were moving like he's a big this and big that. And you want I'm a chill guy. I'm in the corner.
I relax it. Yeah. Because they're gonna come for your neck.
For sure.
Do the wrong thing, they're gonna come for your neck. So we don't want that, sir.
At all.
All right. Now let me go ahead and pull up the original thing that set this all in motion. If I could find it. Give me a second here. Let me pull up the original post by Mr. Swanks himself. Shout out Swanks.
Pick up Darren in the chat. I seen some people in the chat. Blessings, blessings.
Oh man, no, everything out of order. Give me a second. No. Oh,
Wow, this is like that. He's a feds man.
listen, I did do research and relax.
We see.
I did do my research. Let me see. I try and find this thing, but I can't find it. Of course, I can't find it. Well, let me ask you this first while I look up the post myself. Where did you get your start in music, sir?
Technically, shout out to, I guess, one of the people in the conversation, Malvon Gums, because I put out my first CD, as an artist when I was in 10th grade. It was like this red CD with me on the cover, like, it was real cute. Like, we were selling it, it was a music shop. It was a thing for a little while. So I was like a little R&B or whatnot. And Malvon, helped basically executive produce my first CD. I just continued from there, and the R&B kind of pop situation, had different managers, blah blah blah. It never worked out. Did the Teen Idol was a big thing for me as well. And then fast forward all of this stuff into, I was still doing that, and one of my managers at the time, shout out to LaShawn Scrooge Selwood. He's a amazing soca artist from the Virgin Islands as well. Open up from Marshall. Big things coming for him as well. But anyway, he was my manager at the time. And then I don't know what was the premise. I think Culture needed a song voiced or something like that. And Jamal Culture Miller. And he needed a song voice, and he reached out to Scrooge, and Scrooge reached out to me and hooked me up with him. And then Jamal was like, hey, yeah, I needed this song voiced. But if you have any, changes or anything, just, you feel free and, just let me know and we could work with it. I was like, okay. And then I do it. And then apparently he had like it. And then he had sent me back another one. And then I do that too. And then he was like, hey, yeah, we's writing partners now. So from henceforth, like, we just start writing together. So we start tackling the soca realm together. My first soca placement was with Tian Winter. Shout out to Tian Winter. It was On Fire. Yeah, On Fire. And then we did a slew of others for Tian Winter, Daring You, Roman, Mr. Good, Can't Explain Too Much. Claudette Peters, Belong to a Flag, Nasty Proof, On My Behalf, Catching It. Different islands. I had one for Destra, that was Throwback, Farmer Nappy, Family, yeah, a lot, man. A good bit of stuff. So we linked up with Precision Productions at the time, got on a couple of their rhythms, kept a good relationship with them. Yeah, and kind of just navigated our way through the
You've been doing all this music, collaborating with all these people. I feel like you're not as known as that suggests, though, and I'm wondering why.
Well, glad we're here. The first issue with that is
that's a big name. Really easy.
The first issue with that is somebody had mentioned it the other day. Me want to blow them up, so I ain't gonna mention any name. But they was speaking about ways that we could, win in the VI, in the music realm and up our level a bit. And it was like saying, yeah, you should write for other artists. You were talking to an artist. You should write for another artist. We need more ghost writers. And I, like make a little correction to him. I was like, we need more asterisk writers, like not ghost writers, because for some reason it's just like a culture to like keep the writer in the back or in the shadows or something. So that's probably why I'm still, where I am. And me and Culture, we split up for a while and we're writing again now. He writes on another moniker now, Seven Flags. But his his list is even more extensive than mine. Bigger names as well, Marshall and all kinds of things. So it's like we have people that are part of the VI music industry that work in and like have stuff out like for years now, but
Yeah.
you know, for some reason we don't laud them as high as we need to, or I don't know. But that's neither here nor there. But yeah,
That seems to be an issue that resounds like not only in the music, but like just VI artists, VI basketball players, VI, you know what I'm saying? Every realm, it seems like we don't get that push from our own. And we had talked to what Party Jesus before, and he said that basically the VI crowd is harder than any stateside crowd. Like, and that's crazy to me because you know them.
yeah. Um, man. Okay, so somebody asked me how my music was going the other day, like literally yesterday, like one of my friends, and it was like, I was like, actually, I doing a little good now. People starting to like, catch on and stuff now because the last show I was at was a VI show, right? And I swear, I kid you not, if you're another VI performer, you will attest to this. Like you'll go up on a stage and all of that crowd participation. Hey, how you feeling? Nah, we come for you to entertain us. We ain't come to have fun. We come for you to entertain us. So all of this tralala you going out with, nah. Sing your song, my boy, and it better be good. You check? But I went up, and just randomly I would just like try and catch the vibe. I say, I make some noise for me right quick. And yeah, I said no man, no man. In my head, I said no man, 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 no man. You messing with me, man? That's crazy. That's really crazy. So I think little by little, the culture is not just like people catching on to me. I think the culture is shifting a little bit, like, and we are giving ourselves our flowers a little bit more. And I here for it. I definitely here for it.
So
But it has been some trials and
okay.
tribulations in the past. But I could definitely say we are moving towards a better situation, as you can see with all of these conversations we've been having. Because even just like I seen listeners chime in and they saying this, and maybe I should name it this, and like people care. So sorry if that was a rant, my bad.
No. We needed that rant because it was real. Aisha is saying they need exposure, referring to VI artists. Let's have a VI music fest and use our village for our local talents first. What are your thoughts on that?
I think there's actually one already. There was already in the works, so it happened last year. I think. Shout out to I don't know what it called. I think it's LP promotions with Alico still. I think they did the America's Paradise Music something cinema festival. So it was music, and it was a really good premise. I don't know the name right now. I don't have any partnership with them, so I apologize for not having that information. But there are things that people are doing. I don't know if the promotion just ain't really catch on yet, or like we were talking about before, we don't really love our own stuff as much as we needed to in the past. But things have I know definitely from in the past too, from like Starfest and stuff like that. Like things have been happening, but as of recently, I've heard about the America's Paradise Music Festival. I thought that was a great idea. So I think if we could, probably get some behind that, or make something around that. But I love the idea. Like St. Kitts have their music festival. That's amazing. I think we could do something like that as well.
Neci, what do you think about that? I know I asked him in fetters, mind you. I'm a sleeper. It's fetters. So what do you think? They need exposure. Let's have a VI music fest and use our village for our local artists first. What do you think?
Yeah, I agree. I agree that we should have some type of VI music festival that does give opportunities to up and coming and our existing talent artists a place where they can come and display their talents. And I don't want to limit it to music because we have so many talented people here in the art form, whether it's paintings or poetry or whatever that may be. But yeah, most islands do have some type of music fest, and we should definitely be having that conversation. We have a bigger opportunity with 3 islands that we can really, have this music fest and really make it a thriving thing. Of course, that I know, our problem will always be, oh, what island we gonna have the music fest? And
Exactly. I will go
I
talk about
mean,
that.
yeah, we could rotate each year. 1 year St. Thomas, 1 year St. Croix. Like it don't make like that's just what we need to do. That's what we need to do because it benefits all of our artists, not just the ones in one island. Because we're gonna do that. And I do agree with Nye, like, our festival village should be full of our local talents. Of course, we want to see outside talents because, on a whole, many people don't get to see outside talents coming into the territory and giving them a free performance. And most islands don't even have the opportunity to have it for free, regardless. But it should be primarily our local artists should be there. They should be the first ones booked and given an opportunity. And I also want to say too, as well, for the artists as well, you have to, I know consistency is not always easy, but you have to be consistent. Not everyone turns a sensation overnight. Sometimes you do have to prove that you want this and that you can do this. And sometimes that's how we are like, he really could sing. I don't know I-Bari, but I never hear he sing, and I don't know if he music, all of that. That's how we don't go on. I remember he come in school and he won't even, he didn't even sing in music class or nothing. What he think he could sing now? That's the kind of things that we do.
That couldn't be my story, 'cause I've been
No, but I'm
doing
saying
this
that's
thing.
the kind of
But yeah,
things
no, I play with you.
right, but that's how we do really move. Like, oh, he never sing for me when I used to be around. That's the kind of things we emit in a negative way to discourage people from what they're truly passionate about. And not everybody gets to do their passion from early. Some people have to grow into it, gain their confidence, understand it, and some people just embody it from a young age. There's just layers to it,
Yep, definitely.
No, Jerica is saying that from the music fest, because I didn't hear about it. It doesn't seem like it was, it was out there, which is another problem I've noticed myself. There is a gap in promotion in the Virgin Islands. There's a promotion gap. If you ain't already known, getting known is a struggle. I can just say that. Jerica says people ain't participating because they're busy holding their phones or they're nervous about the amount of phones present because we're quick to dip on each other. That seems to be a Virgin Islands, small island, small community type of energy that I think we need to get rid of. Just go ahead and party them. Fet. Go ahead and let loose and don't care who watching. But I also understand that the people that might be watching, them. So, I
don't agree completely, but I understand what she's trying to say as well.
Darren says, I'm going to keep it real. I'm not talking about I-Bari, but a lot of the music is mediocre. Just start rhythm and wind up. No catchy chorus, no melody, and no story or well-written verse. There's this artist I cannot name, but he is proof that you don't have to be as talented as you are consistent, because he consistently gets pushed, but he's consistently pushing trash. I'm not going to call no names because I like working here, but I see it myself. I'm seeing.
Why do you know who you're talking about? And that is horrible.
Yes, I see artists all the time. They're great, but they're not consistently putting out or they might create the music. They ain't putting it out. And I don't understand that. When you get somebody mediocre that's going to this place, or they're playing here, they're playing there, and it's like, yo, that man that don't even really. This gonna be who representing us in it.
They say hard work, the beat out talent every time. So,
hey,
you have to think about as well too. Not everyone is as courageous to just come out with their talent and be bold with it. like you said, some people do make their music and they're not putting it out because
I have my own problems with this. Don't mind this like big, like bubbly persona I have right now. I'm like definitely like an ambivert in it. Like you talk to me now, and then like I gonna take out this camera here, my partner. We ain't gonna talk for like 5 to 10 minutes, and it's cool. He's my partner because he understand that. Like I don't like I have a switch. It'll be like boom, okay, you're walking now. Boom, all right, we could call. We go over here and we do our thing. And most of the time, it's hard to flip that switch. So I understand it for like people like I ain't want like come out like I is one of the big shiny people who doing all the work. I need to do more work, myself. So I definitely understand where those people coming from. Sorry to cut you off.
No, I guess something for you. I don't come for I-Bari neck in a little bit. But you had something to say because I did notice something on his page that confused the hell out of me. But go ahead. Neci, you were saying something, I think?
No, I was just saying like there's artists who are not as confident to put out their stuff and do it. And because we all know the criticism that comes with some of these things. Once it's out there, you can't take it back. And some of it is great, but the criticisms are very hard sometimes. And Jah, like me, like that I'm great with speaking to people and giving you insight.
1013 Roy FM. We'll be right back after these messages. Carry on.
Yeah, I like that's my thing. But to do that in front of the camera, that's not my thing. But I'm working on it, right? So it's like it's one of those things. But where some people just are confident whether they truly have a genuine talent or not, they just feel like I can do this, and they make a great effort to do it. And then sometimes you have people who behind you pushing you, like, yeah, you should sing that song, you should go perform it, and you shouldn't encourage that. But what are you going to do then when you're being encouraged in a positive way and now you really believe that you can do this? But I also feel like we need to grab people and mentor, because we don't mentor a lot. I'd be like, hey, I see what you're doing and I can see what you're trying to do, but I think you need some mentoring to kind of take you to the next step. And we have to be open to receive that. I-Bari said he knows he have work to do. Not everyone can reflect on themselves and say, I have more work to do. Some just think that they got it and that's it. Like they're it.
And I think that's the issue. You have to have an objective eye and ear to be able to look at yourself in the mirror and look at your art, laid out and seeing like, what do I need? They have this commercial that'll play in Syncredo, it'll be like, have your grass looking just like the white people them grass. What you need to find out what it is to get your grass looking just like me no, some partner he's selling he landscaping business. They don't go hard. But yeah, that's the tagline in the end. And they say, yeah. So but you need to find out what it is that you need to do to get your grass looking like the other people on grass in terms of quality, in terms of, richness. But obviously your grass gonna be your grass.
Correct.
I need to find this commercial now.
Hey. That's a secret thing. It's a secret station. Me, who did it. But it is out there, okay? I ain't gonna cancel me. I didn't say it. I heard it was an interpolation.
You paraphrased. That was not you.
Yes. I paraphrased. That was
I just never hear it. I don't hear it now.
Me paraphrasing, like the quote I said, that was a quote. It was a quote.
A direct quote. Okay.
I was appalled as well, but whoever gave you the clients,
you remember the commercial though. Shout out.
Yeah, exactly.
With some real music out right now. Big up Linda Brooks and her new song, Phoenix. She said you have to push yourself.
Yes, you do.
A lot of producers taking money knowing they should be honest.
Correct. Correct. Yes. Absolutely. This auto-tune thing really got a lot of we convinced of things we shouldn't be convinced about.
Well, hold up. But Kita on the track to be using a lot of auto-tune.
No, but there's people you can tell people. I don't have a problem with the auto-tune. What I'm saying is that the people who can do both things, They can run a track through auto-tune. They can perform live. If you notice, a lot of those artists who perform live, they don't have great shows and they don't have great turnouts because how they sing their radio song and their live song don't even go together. And they get a lot of negative feedback because of that, because they're no longer, they have to do this live in person, and it's a very big difference.
Correct. Speaking of lives, if you're listening right now, go ahead and share the live. Have others join the conversation along with you so they can see all these behind the scenes stuff and, you know, tap in with us. They could talk directly to I-Bari live. You heard the man credentials and who he work with. The man serious. Now, I want to show you what he does, give you a little snippet for those who may not know.
I don't know, so I'm excited.
Hey, it's a clip. It's a snippet. You got.
I don't know too. I excited as well.
You posted it.
Hey, I don't know it's his though, you know.
So listen, we're gonna play this, let you find out how the man will go on, and then, you know, obviously a little later he'll tell you where to find his music and whatnot. But here is Favorite Song by I-Bari.
Bottle water, you're so sweet. Your blood sugar probably sky high like flying saucer. It must be, yeah. She say you're full of talker, you're chatty, but save your lyrics and for the stage and not me. Kindly, yeah. All kind of song them not hear me sing. I don't write song for Marshall and Ting. Out of them song girl I can in front. Ain't not a one them more important. You got a wine like grapes so sweet. There'll never be a crime if you whine on me. So if it's lyrics that go get me in, give me the tune and I go sing. You like my favorite song. Let me come in your studio and lay it down, baby. Yeah, you like my favorite song. And like what you want, then I'll sing it all night long, baby. Yeah.
Here lyrics. Here
groovy. I like that.
Real groovy.
Thank you. Blessings.
I like it.
Let me get your autograph now before I can't get you again when you blow up. Like I just sign something for me now.
I feel like do like a screen. See, okay.
Yeah.
If you want to donate the same difference.
I don't know. I picking up things and putting up. I don't know with this AI technology you might have been so.
I speaking it, so I just saying.
Listen,
but I must make a differentiation here. And I don't normally do this, you know, but I have to. Dime me on a song, you know.
I'm sorry.
That's Wildfire on that song. So I have a good friend and compatriot, Wildfire. He's from New York, with family from Trinidad and Vinci and stuff like that. Amazing writer, background designer. He does vocals for like lyrical Marshall. He was just in the studio with Marshall the other day. He done write for Marshall. He's done a lot of stuff. So we work together very closely in a way that for some reason he gets me to in the soca market when I wasn't really feeling myself. I took some time off and I didn't know my footing and stuff like that. He kind of helped me to gain my confidence. He's a real positive youth, I ain't gonna lie to you. So he like kind of speak a lot of life into me and give me that extra juice I need to get back in the game and start doing what I need to do. So that's actually him on the song, but we have such a similar voice that I perform the song when I go out as well. So we have two songs that we do together. We have Bring It and we have Favorite Song. So far I've been performing Bring It for like 3-4 years now. It was featured on Notting Hill Carnival playlist curated by Bungie Garland in 2018, and then from since then it kept a little vibes over there, so I just added it to my set list. I perform it in Houston, all over the place, but people usually don't know, so I kind of just let them know because our voices sound very, very similar. But no, that is not me.
I wish you hadn't said that, because now you made a fool out of me, sir.
Well, you know, sometimes we all have to play the fool. There ain't no exception to the rule.
True.
Baby. You don't know the song, Aaron Neville? All right, okay, all right, leave it.
Oh man. This man.
Everybody play. All right, cool.
So okay, what was the collaboration?
Oh, okay, you got me. All right, bet. Okay, sorry, Jah. What you say?
What was the collaboration on that particular song then?
So we had a situation where we was trying to get it. If you the rhythm is actually the same rhythm that shout out to CL Productions, by the way. It was supposed to be on the same rhythm with Destra and Peter Ram. They did a song together. Bring it in there, bring it in there, don't be here. Okay, but yeah, they have a song together, Destra and Peter Ram. It's the same rhythm, I think in another key. We just missed the window for that. So we were supposed to be featured on that, rhythm with them. Shout out to CL Production for the opportunity. And he's another Small Island legend as well. He's from Anguilla, been doing big things in the game. So Small Island, we really have some power and some force in the in the industry. But yeah, if you notice, some of the lyrics are what's this?
I heard the part where
Girl, I bring you a bottle of water, you're so sweet. Your blood sugar probably sky like flying saucer. It must be, yeah. She say you're full of talk, yeah. You're chatty, but just save your lyrics and for the stage and not me. It's kindly, yeah. All kind of song you don't hear me sing. I don't write song for Michelle and ting. I never write no song for Michelle. You check? But he write song for Michelle. So I wanted him to really, flex his stuff on the song. So I had to put that in there. But yeah, no, it was just Wildfire. Actually, we went to Wildfire for the song. It was me and CL Production. We went. It was like we need to do this with Wildfire, and came out beautifully. Been getting very, very good feedback everywhere. I performed the song everywhere. The song has been sent. I've got amazing feedback. It's doing well on Julian promos on YouTube, and yeah, it's doing very well.
That's what's up. Congratulations. I wanted. Did you have any questions before I pull him up on this post? Yeah.
First of all, you're not gonna just be pulling him up on the post, okay? Because now I fall in love with the music. We can't just be pulling up how you feel like. Okay.
I gotta pull him up on it because he asked for it. Literally, he literally asked for it. So let me pull it up. So you made this post, sir, which I thought it was genius. Quite frankly, I couldn't figure out if you were being sarcastic or you just meant this or what was going on. So I-Bari posted, negative comments welcome and encouraged below. Why people so scared of telling me they don't like my music? All I gonna do is say okay and ask if they know why, so I could see if it's something I'm willing to change. Everybody is the biggest music critic till it comes to my music. They make vague accusations about lack of lyrics, content, melodies. They're saying we don't share our music enough. I say, okay, well, let's talk about me. And start posting my links directly under their comments. Radio silence, not a peep. You could say you just don't like it. You just don't like me, my voice, whatever, but they're saying nothing. Or say some demeaning blank, like, oh, you go boy, fight your craft, or reacting with care. Just tell me, please. I ain't gonna cuss you. So this is me opening the door again for commentary. Listen to my VI Soca music and tell me why it's trash. Bruh.
I had a video. I fed up. I was fed up. They had a video that went viral during the pandemic with a dude on a roof saying I fed up. I want to go fed. That was me, by the way. So, but anyway, I still fed up. So I was just fed up. That was the feeling behind the post, because it was very, very, very sincere. People were having conversations around the swank status, or they've had these conversations before. It's not a new thing, but it's just we trending right now. So when we having these conversations, Hey, Darren was one of them, but Darren had to specify that he wasn't talking about me. But before he was like saying VI music, and I from the VI, my boy. So like, and I don't do music, my boy. So it's like you talking about me, you check. So we were having these conversations, and then
back. Hold up, 1 second. That was Lady Lava, Ring Finger. You are now listening to A Different Day with Jah and
It's Neci.
We have a very special guest in the building today by the name of I-Bari Davis. Can you say hi to the people?
Whoa, oh yeah, just I-Bari.
You guys singing boy here, straight for a rock.
A whole rock
sing a
man
boy
in
for
the
rap.
building.
Why did I request negative comments? I see in this in the chat.
So that's what we were talking about during the break, behind the scenes on Roy FM Plus on the live stream. Why did you, I-Bari, do what most people do not do? Ask for negative feedback so you can improve, which I think the marketing was beautiful. After you made the request, you then posted links from YouTube for people to actually go listen and then critique, which I think, chef's kiss, sir. So why did you do that?
First off, from the bottom of my, heart, I want to grow and become better. So I'm not gonna grow and become better if you're pussyfooting in a bad word, because that's actually in the dictionary. Yeah, if you like tiptoeing and pussyfooting around the conversations that need to be had around my music. So it's like if I'm not seeing the return that I need to see, or maybe expect or want to see, there's something wrong in the formula. It's a business, like you can't just be trying to sell stuff and all the time. You're just like, yeah, man, you're on the side selling special and your special ain't getting sell. You have to ask yourself what's going on with why your special ain't getting sell. How can you get your grass to look just like the other people them grass? I'm gonna say the other people them grass. So I apply that to my life as well. I feel like I could see a lot of issues that I have. I feel like I'm a very introspective person, and I like to, be the man in the mirror and looking, a little I love that. I'm not shying away from it. So I gonna do it publicly as well, because I ain't perfect. I feel like I smart bad, but mean the smart. It means smart bad. I smart like just too bad. So somebody else might be like smart 6 bads, and then I ask them what going on with my music, and it just opens the floor for me to get, the experience and the feedback that I need, so I could get to music that's 6 bads too. Like I-Bari bad, however bad stuff is. You check? So I need the negative. You need the shite so the plant could grow. The fertilizer. Stuff like that. Secondly, it was a marketing ploy, because people love to talk dirty. It's easier for somebody to kick you than to shake your hand for some reason. I don't know why. That's life. That's all the people say. You're riding high in April, shining out in May. It's a lyric in a song that, But people love to stamp on your dream. That's the line. It's easier for some reason. I've been literally looking at the market. Like there's this platform called On the Radar. They just do rap freestyles or whatnot. And you don't go on there and you just spit. And for years, you don't go on there, people spitting. Hot too. Like real, they aren't bad, like bars upon bars. But as of lately, you go on there, and the only people that gain views is the people that's really like they trash, man. Like, sorry, okay, they ain't trash. They are not
The trash people
lyrically.
inclined.
Yeah, they ain't really showing too much lyrical prowess. You know,
Okay.
it's yeah. So those videos, comments down to every wow, man, are you serious? This is trash. What? You need to stop doing music. Blam 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 blam. Biggest all of views. The people who actually like, man, this girl doing her thing, like
Uh-huh.
mediocre, very like no like way less interaction. So
Why you think that is?
you said what?
Why do you think that is? Like, how is that possible for the worst ones to get the most attention?
You want my real answer? You want my radio answer?
Listen, get a real answer as long as it ain't got bad words.
Okay. I feel like because of music and the rest of mass media, we just slowly becoming a little bit more evil as time go by. Like a little bit more bad mind as a people, as a human species. We just becoming a little bit more bad mind as time goes by. Also, that's like on the smaller, that's on like on the micro and the macro. I tell you, it's only too smart.
The
It's only too
smaller
bad.
size.
So I might mess that terminology up. But on the other, on the bigger spectrum, we have social media and it connecting all of us and not connecting all of us at the same time. So it's connecting us in a ways that we could communicate with each other and say what we feel, but it's disconnecting us in a way that we hide behind our computer screens and we feel like this online digital footprint isn't an actual footprint. It's an actual footprint. People feel things behind the words that you say when you say them online, and you're a real person when you say them, and they come from your real heart, and that real heart is bad mind. Sometimes, you check, sometimes. That's on like on the hater type stuff. So yeah, I feel like everybody have an opinion, and social media make it easier for us to share them and a bit harder for us to care about others after we share them. But it works for me because I need the feedback. So it making people easier, making it easier to share it with me. So I'm just gonna try tap into that with a little, stuff that's going on. It was a little tactic as well too. But it was from the heart.
I peeped it, sir. I got it. I thought it was genius. I understood it. And the thing about it is you're correct, because there is proof and evidence that also not only are people feeding into the negative more, negativity spreads more. Like, have you ever seen people hate share something where it goes viral, and there will be people sharing it to say, don't share this. Like,
there was a movie or a book or a show that did something like this specifically, like maybe 5 to 10 years ago. That was their sole marketing tactic. They got people to talk bad about the movie or how they were so outraged, and then everybody keep going to see the movie because they want to see what the outrage was about, and it really wasn't a bad movie.
True. And that's the algorithm. Basically, the algorithm pushes those things more. So I applaud you for doing that. That's smart move. And I really would like to know, why do you think more artists don't actually listen to the negative feedback? Like, too often we dismiss feedback or criticism as hating, which hating is not telling somebody that they're trashing them. Hating is liking it, but saying that it's trash. That there's a difference. Like, you admire what they're doing and you still say negative stuff. That's hating. They're doing well, so you say bad things. That's hating. Me saying, hey, you might could go back in the studio. Maybe, you got drowned out here, or like, I don't like the energy is off, or you ain't on beat. That's not hating. Why do you think, like, we can't just accept that and maybe go back in the studio and work on the craft?
Being a quote unquote ghostwriter, I'm not a ghostwriter, I'm a writer, but we try and break that up. it kind of helped me because I have been the pen for a couple of artists that also can write their own songs, you know, um, and some of them can't write their own songs. But I have, I've been that instrument, so I know that sometimes somebody else could give you something to work with that better than you could give yourself something to work with. Also, yeah, I think that definitely set up my ability to, I guess, just be a bit more humble or open to creative feedback.
Mhm.
In the Bram sector now, somebody made a very good comment. Shout out to Jordan Duvernay. I think he was saying that a lot of it in that sector is very related to hip hop and rap culture, dancehall culture. If you listen to a good bit of, I feel like the Bram or Calypso, New Age, whatever we're calling it, it has a lot of dancehall derivative, a lot of rap derivative. So I think people are also taking the principles from these situations as well. So they are not as open to outside criticism outside of their own little squad, I guess, because they feel like, oh, they're supposed to be, the spitter or the lyricist or the MC or whatnot. I guess they have that kind of vibes. But also on the flip end, people been stealing stylies for as long as stylies have been award. So it's a interesting, a juicy contradiction in this realm that we have. We have a bit of hubris that I feel like we need to do away with.
Hopefully.
Yeah. And I feel like with time we definitely going to get there. I put it out there. That's a little VI music group or whatnot that they opened on Facebook. I put it out there if anybody,
So
if
that
you
was
need
you.
some
Music group
feedback
thing.
or whatnot, you could send it my way. I'll give you some honest feedback. I'll tell you. But I
That
just
was
feel
you.
like that's what we need.
You
You said
created
what?
that? You created the VI music
I
group thing?
definitely did not. I'm not that kind
Oh,
of person. Yeah.
okay. We glad we cleared that up. But you
Yeah.
brought up Bram conversation. And listen, we're gonna talk about it real quick because I am tired of the discussion, quite frankly. But we wanted to tap in real quick and get our opinions. I did solicit for a Bramster, a Bramishan, I
A
don't know.
Bram practitioner, a Bram
Yeah,
perk.
yeah, a brown part. We asked for a brown part, but nobody came through, but that's okay. I've even seen, apparently, I just now noticed that there is even a YouTube video explaining Brahma what it came from. We don't have the link, but hey, you can go look that up. Now,
Oh
from what I
wow.
understand, just this week, Swanks put a post, which of course I can't find now, but I found it on my phone. It started with, okay, DJ, serious question. How come I barely play any St. Croix Festival music for the season? What's the excuse this time? Every night you kill us with the bouillon, and I can only respect it because of genre hot. But why are your bags so empty during our festival season? Way too much new music out to still be in them old crates. No, talk to me. What we doing? Hence, the brand conversation came out of that because that is apparently our music. Now, I understand why there needs to be a differentiation because I have always thought, like, when I listen to other calypso and soca, it does not sound like ours. Like when I was
For sure.
listening to Japan and Vaio and stuff like that, it don't sound like theirs. But
Mm-hmm.
so subgenre, I get it. So Bram, BRAM, bass rhythm and something else. And motion
Melody.
melodies. There we go. Bass rhythm
Yeah.
and melodies. Now, what I know you're not a Bramster, a Bram part, but what did you get from that conversation? And do you agree that like the DJs aren't doing enough? I always thought that you need to shop yourself.
Is okay, so a couple of things I wanted to touch on from Bram is not the VI sound or VI's music. It is a facet, is a very popular facet of VI, VI's music or VI sound. I would never say that it is the VI sound, because it would be disrespectful to so many different variants of artists that we have, and we have a talented array of artists in us, a myriad of different genres. But I will say that it is very popular and it is at the forefront. People have been saying that they have not hearing local music for quite some time now. It's not something that's new. It's just the newest time it's been said. So unless people been lying for years, then enough music is not being played. And yes, we are as artists in control of pushing our own music to a certain extent. But man, DJs used to bust records. Like,
Yeah.
I feel like now it has moved to a time where DJs don't bust records, they don't take chances, and not even really a chance. Don't take a chance on something that you think is trash. And then don't fix your mouth to say all the music that you received is trash. Then don't fix your mouth to say that you ain't get no music because Vibes Cartel didn't send you his newest song. Neither did Kess. He didn't send you Kokoti. Young Brother didn't send you Greatest Benova. Nyla didn't send you the song that it'll be running up and down, okay? But, and no disrespect to them, but you got that song. So I feel like, in a perfect world as a VI DJ, just like me as a VI artist, I just try to incorporate my accent as much as I can. Like I just make VI Soca and other genres, but primarily VI Soca right now. The same.
Keep it locked right here on 101.3 Raw FM. We'll be right back.
It's really just the same format as, I guess, Big Island Soca, the Kesses, the Marshalls, or whatnot, in my accent, speaking about things that are closer to home sometimes. But it's not in any way really different. It's just our thing because I use it, the things that are ours. Whew. The dialect and stuff like that. And I feel like that's all the Trinidad really doing. Another thing I wanted to touch on, you said that it's so different. Our soca and stuff is so different. It definitely reached to a point where it has reached to a sound that it differs a lot, but they don't have like a trademark on the word soca, Like when you say soca, it don't mean Trinidad soca, Like, and we started from the same roots. When you listen to Bana Jam, from, don't get me quoting names because I'm not good, but when you listen to Bana Jam from like 1990 something, and you listen to Siamese Twin from Lord Nelson, it's the same drum patterns, it's the same guitar, rhythmic guitar, it's the same situations. My father from St. Kitts, he sent me a song that from PJ Brown, I think. Oh, big writer, soca writer from way back. They've covered his songs in symphony orchestras. Have covered his songs. All of these things, we come from he's from St. Kitts. Same, all of them sounded the same. We just, as time went on, we kind of went in our own corners and kind of, it's just like language. We kind of just spread and then things started to take its own form, but it's still soca. Like, so I get the need to want to brand it, and I feel that's important, and I'm behind it. But I don't know, man. I see people having conversations, saying like, oh, they've been in big rooms and they've been shamed when people ask them about what we have and we don't have a genre name for it. And I'm like, that's cap. Because why are you feeling shame? Like, is our music is we don't really have a specific name for it, but it's soca. It's definitely soca. Soca in our own. This is our soca, and this is our soca. And I just want everybody else to take that attitude. Like, we need to love ourselves way more. I feel like it stems from a identity crisis that we have in the Virgin Islands. I feel like we don't really know who we are to a certain extent, and it makes us hard to love ourselves, and we love other people things more because they are more sure of themselves. Hate me if you're gonna hate me, but I feel like that's what it is, and we need to move towards better. I ain't talking down and saying, we just need to have more. And because we're in an independent island nation, that we can't have pride in our territory the same way. Like, we need to big up ourselves how Jamaica to big up themselves, big up ourselves how St. Kitts to big up themselves. Like, Anguilla, everybody, like, yeah, sorry, rant.
No, isn't that like, you said there's an identity crisis? Isn't wanting our own genre or subgenre like the opposite of an identity crisis, though? We're trying to distinguish ourselves. Is it something bad with that, you think?
No, I think it's in line with the identity crisis. It's not opposite. We have an identity crisis, so we are reaching out in any way that we can to try to identify ourselves, to try to put our stamp on what is going on. So we see that identity over there. We are there. They have their names. They have their bouillon. They have soca. They think they have soca. They have chutney. They have whatnot. And that's why I feel like people, somebody made a comment and said, oh, this is not important. But you have to look at we have more important things going on. We have to look at the underlying reason for why these things are happening. And I think it's because of that identity crisis. We want to be more proud in what we are. We want to be more proud in the products that we have. So I feel like these are steps. Because of the sickness, we are making these steps towards the cure.
That's deep. I like that. Neci, you want to
yeah, I don't feel like we necessarily have. I think people are making an identity crisis out of it. But one thing we've always been was a melting pot. That has always been the theme of the Virgin Islands, was a melting pot. And in many of the Caribbean islands, they have a lot of soca, but they're now having more calypso. We've always had calypso though, and now we're taking in other forms. I just think it's just an exchange of musical, like you said, genres is happening because it's always been that way. Like, I've always heard the melting pot of the Virgin Islands. I've always heard an eclectic amount of different music being produced. And like, not every island have a soca Mona competition. We've always had soca Mona competition for our islands, but not every island does it, right? So it's just one of those things where you could find any of the cultural similarities in every island you go to, but you won't find a whole of it in no island because it's all just pieces being put together. So for me, I always known bouillon music. I grew up with Dominicans and St. Lucians, and that's what I heard. So this bouillon music, this Brampton for me, it's not even new. It's new, like in a population, but it's not new. It's just being more accepting for us now. But I've always known about this music. It like some of the songs I know we complain about what we sing, but those islands are sing some songs that
you want to come back. You are now rocking with the number one station in the U.S. Virgin Islands, 101.3 Row FM, and you are tuned into a live broadcast episode of A Different Day with Jah and
Neci.
And we have a special guest in the house. Introduce yourself, sir.
Wow, don't know. It's I-Bari. I think I need a change up. I did the Carlos Furniture jingle, by the way, and if I ever that day. But
I
yeah.
know it. I said that voice. I just know it. I know
Oh yeah,
it so much
yeah. That's me.
sense.
That's me.
I
But
tell
yeah,
you,
we had talking.
one of the most known unknown artists out right now doing
I
big
didn't
things.
want to call you out and be wrong.
No man, call me out.
No, but I
I
was
didn't
like,
spot this big
when you
status
said
saying
the
call
first
me
of
out. I
when
call
you
me
said
out
the first of
Barry.
the word, I was like, that sounds like the Carlos Furniture jingle, you know. But
Oh
I didn't want
yeah.
to say.
We got the Carlos Furniture guy on it.
I know.
Place.
That's crazy.
So Neci was making a point. We were on Row FM Plus. We apologize if you missed it. Don't feel too bad. But we were gearing up into the conversation, asking the question: do we have an identity crisis with our music? So I'm gonna let Neci finish her point, and then I-Bari, if you could wrap up that question for the listening audience, please.
So my stance was I don't think we have an identity crisis because the Virgin Islands has always been a melting pot of music, and no one ingredient makes a meal. If you think about it, you have a collection of ingredients that make a meal taste great, and that's what we've always been. So for me, we've always been big on calypso more than anything else, and a lot of other islands are more focused on soca. Bram, like we just been talking about, has always been around. It wasn't labeled Bram, but the music was around for forever. I grew up on those type of music. So for me, hearing it isn't like a new thing for me, but we also have a new generation of listeners into music. So it's a big thing now culturally for our islands. So I don't think that we have an identity crisis. I just think we need to understand that our identity is a mixture of all the other islands. When you go to these other islands, you can find VI inspired music in other artists and in other islands, just like if we can find other islands in our territory. But we should be forefront and foremost showcasing us before anything else.
Yeah.
So I do agree with what I think the post in terms of I did not hear enough local VI music for the festival season. I'm not on the radio, not in a club, not in a jam, not in a public space, not in a nothing. I did not hear enough. Why that has happened, that's a different question that I don't know. But to I-Bari's point, he was, we didn't go out and source those other island music. We found a way to get it and play it at in our sets. And I think that it's a two-sided coin where we should be actively putting our music out there consistently. Like I said, consistency is key. If you have to drop your link every day for your song that you just drop it every day, post it every day, play it every day. When you're driving by, you should be playing that in your car every day with your window down so people can hear your music, whatever that may be. And we should definitely be advocating to have our artists' music played, and our artists should definitely be advocating to get their music played, because that's what it's about. Like, everyone was surprised with the Road March song that won Road March. I heard it like once or twice, but that was not the main song that was played on the road for the parade. And to me, I should have heard enough. I've listened to 101.3 Row. I've seen all the artists come on and drop their songs for the season. There was a lot of great music that was dropped, in my opinion. I didn't hear them songs. What happened to all of those songs? Where are the artists who perform these songs? I didn't see them playing anywhere or performing them anywhere. So there's a lot of different components to it that we really need to focus on for next year to ensure that we're not having that gap again. Because it's really our culture, and we have to be the one to advocate for it, or it's not going to happen. We're going to have this conversation again next year for no reason, because we have a year to fix it.
And if you're curious as to which post she's talking about, it was the post from Swanks that set off the whole Bram conversation. Okay, DJ, serious question. How come I barely play any St. Croix Festival music for the season? What's the excuse this time? Every night, you kill us with the bouillon, and I can only respect it because it's genre hot. But why are your bags so empty during our festival season? Way too much new music out to still be in them old crates. No? Talk to me. What we doing? Now, I-Bari, you also had some points. You want to wrap that up, let the listeners hear it. who was just tuned in on the radio and not on the live stream?
Well, I guess first I want to start out by saying I don't have a particular beef with the DJs. You know, I guess this is kind of more like a challenge to them. Um, yeah, use a VI DJ, prove it. You know, prove it. Like for real. Don't play a bunch of don't be a playlist DJ that you playing I playing a hot song from everywhere. Like that's what we to do. We DJs, we slaves to the no you're not. You know, like of course you gotta be you can't just play all songs as you don't play no trash music. But let's bring back the creativity. You know, like you think the rhythm too strong or something. Okay, take the music off of the rhythm. Put it on one of them popular songs, rhythm, and run it that way. You know, let me hear favorite song coming off of Greatest Benova rhythm. Let me hear favorite song coming off of Cocoa rhythm. You have I use DJs like I want to hear some boiler room sets coming from you, man. Like really get back in your bag. Like I think it could only make for better it could only make for better art, better experience, better entertainment. If we just raise the bar a little bit for I guess the DJs, but also the artists. I ain't saying we haven't done. We need to be better. Somebody said we need to make connections with the DJs. If the DJs have the gumption to be like, yeah, it's a VI DJ, let me prove it, then I'm sure that more VI music will get played. Because I could screenshot you. I ain't one of them other dude. I could screenshot you emails of people. I don't send my music out, you check? But sometimes, the bigger names, it's easier to play the bigger names because it's easier to get a buzz, and you ain't even want to take the chance to listen on my email because you don't even know who my name is. Like, who's this unknown dude sending me an email? Blah. Like, no, take the chance. I don't put my flag in my email so you can know who you're coming from.
So I guess it's up to me to play devil's advocate, right? I'll play the part of the DJ. So now, DJ, shout out you. And shout out 101.3 Row FM because we be playing local music all the time. So they can't say that about 101.3. I just want to put that out there. But
the radios don't have the problem, The radios are doing, shout out to the radios. Like literally VI radio stations, love I. Y'all do how you think.
That radio dead. That's a listen, that's not true. But so Darren says that constructive critique. The artists need to start build relationships with DJs or hire managers who can do that. So, as a DJ, I understand, right, that there's two sides to this story. As a DJ, which I am not, to be clear, but I could understand that. I could understand that you're at a party and there are tunes that gonna get the party rocking. You're there, you're getting paid to do that. So it's easier to just play what gonna get people moving, as to trying to bust a song and now you don't kill the vibe because they didn't really like it, even though you might. You know what I'm saying? So that's a part of it that we need to acknowledge. And another part of it is I personally, as a person that's in media and trying to grow my own brand, I can't imagine making any type of status or post saying why I don't play my stuff. Why I don't what happened to my podcast? What happened to, a different day? Why I was talking about these other people, even though it happens and I see it. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not going to make a post because I put the work in. I know that I'm consistent and I know that one thing going to happen. You're going to see this and you're going to see same difference on your page somewhere. You won't see me. So I wouldn't do that. Putting it on DJs to play your stuff, knowing that you're trying to grow your brand and get your name out there, I think that's unfair. But back to that question. The artists need to start build relationship with DJs or hire managers who can do that. How do we bridge that gap to do that?
And to be fair, thanks for being devil's advocate. I feel people think that we just want all the DJs to play all our songs and just our music, and no, we just want first preference during carnival time.
That's fair.
Is our carnival.
Thanks.
You check? Like, we ain't sending our music to Dominica first, or whoever else does mess with our music, or Anguilla. We ain't sending it over there first, we sending it to you first. You check? So we just want a little first preference. We need to do our part as well. We need to become better at marketing our music and treating it like it's actual music. And like there's an industry for music. There's a codec that you could follow. Like there's publicists you could hire. Like for the people that can afford that kind of thing. But we're just saying that everybody needs to do the part. And I feel like the fact that a post was made, people kind of just was like, oh, the audacity of these guys. But it's like, sometimes you gotta have the audacity because it's a dream that people have, and if you don't believe it strongly enough to make a status or say something like that, at when you are at a point where you feel like all else has failed, because I feel like that's where Swanks. I don't speak to Swanks. We're not like friends or anything like that. We're Facebook friends, but I feel like that's where he felt like he was at, where all else has failed. What's going on? You check. So sometimes you just need to be that, and sometimes people know things. My ex sister tell me this and stick with me forever. Sometimes people know things already, but they just need to hear it again.
Facts.
So, sometimes they just need to hear it again. And I think this was another time, a time that he heard it again, and I feel like this time really stick, sir.
I'll say this. Sometimes, to your point, you need to post the negative stuff to create the dialogue, to start the conversation. Now, do I believe that this has gotten out of hand? Absolutely. You know why? Because I see somebody that like, should we bring this up the next time we go to vote for Senate? I don't think it's that serious. I don't think we're there.
So what are you gonna vote? What are you voting on to do?
Yeah, like
what would the vote be about?
That's one of those situations where it's like we got way bigger fish to fry. That's a bigger fish to fry situation right there.
Yeah, I can agree with that. I don't know what we're gonna be voting on. And even if we could find something to vote on, there are definitely we're not to the political movement stage of this.
Of this musical entity.
Yeah, we're not there yet. I'm sure once we get our stuff together, everybody collectively, conversations will be had like that, because I feel like government things could be done in music. St. Kitts to be doing some amazing things. St. Kitts have an amazing artist by the name of Dijon. He's like one of their biggest artists after Brian Messiah, a dancehall, R&B artist. They sent him to like Boston or Chicago the other day to work with this major producer out there to do like a workshop type situation. St. Kitts in there. You check, so they have stuff that you could do because they know he's gonna make the name, he's gonna promote St. Kitts, and it's also gonna bring the level of St. Kitts artistry back. He's an emissary of St. Kitts. We have a lot of things that we could do on the political side, but it's definitely not. We definitely have bigger fish to fry. Snapper, all type of
agree.
Wife.
No, I'm glad you brought up St. Kitts, because that St. Kitts is a huge market for Caribbean music, and it's a shame that we let local artists they get bossed down in St. Kitts and Antigua and all them other markets, which is crazy to me. Shout out West Girl and what is his
Shout
name?
out Adamo, because I feel like that's where Adamo busted.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Shout out people like and Peanut and stuff, because their music gets a lot of love further down than it does at home, which is crazy. Like Adamo should have been having another Adamo and Friends this year, this last festival, and did. That's crazy. But hey, and the man is
Agreeing.
he going international if he isn't already. So I don't know what's going on. But I just wanted to make that point.
You know, I want to say I've been to a few islands, not a lot, but I've been to a few islands for in either their carnivals or their music fest. The one thing I will say is they run those things like a business, like a money making business. Like we understand the fact that we have to give you an experience that you will tell your friends about and bring them back with you next year. And I think that's one of the things. I think we're working on it. There's a lot of gaps that we need to work on, but I can see that we're working on it with the promotion of, you get 3 for 1 for the VI. And they've been doing it the last couple of years. And they've promoted the carnivals on Uber Soca cruise the last 2-3 years. And they're kind of working towards there. But those islands have the islands, the hotels, the taxi association, they all understand the business of what the experience is about in terms of carnival and music festivals.
Right.
And an example would be, I want to big up Kevri as well, who was the village was named after this year. We all know he did an initiative every night for different schools. He did 7 schools that he was promoting. And I saw a comment where someone said, why should he have to do that? That's not the comment. Did you contribute?
Mm-hmm.
Why he had to do it is not the point. My response was, did you contribute? And if your answer is no, then move along.
But it's easier
Even
to say
if
the negative,
the schools are funded, he could still raise funds for there's never an abundance of funds when it comes to kids and investing in them in terms of their future, musically or otherwise. So that's his initiative that's dear to him. He's a music teacher. Of course, he's gonna champion music for the schools. That makes perfect sense. If you were champion basketball, I'd have been like, why, how, But it's music. Did you contribute? Most of the nights I went to the village was to contribute. I don't know him, but I respected the concept, and that's what I'm saying is we see the positive, and then we have why he have to do that? But did you contribute? You know what I mean? I think businesses should have adopted each school at night to match the contributions. I think that should happen. Like that's the things we should be advocating for instead of only fighting against what went wrong. We know what went wrong, but can we also push ahead what went right and how we can make it better? That should be an every year thing, if you ask me.
Correct.
We need to see people from the VI and be like, why he from the VI? All right, let me back this. But also, he from the VI. If you mess up, you will hear my mouth, If you ain't doing good, you will hear my mouth, But I go back
Well,
to
that's
still.
never been the problem. That's never really been the problem, getting the criticism.
Yeah, you check. So that's that we have the problem on the other side. So just even it out, even it out a little bit. We here just come to boom. So like back him. We need to be of a mindset like, okay, he might not have been good, but he's from the VI and he might keep going and he might keep getting his stuff together. And when I hear other people, is like, okay, like I could talk bad about him, That's my boy, but you ain't gonna talk bad about him. This the VI. I better watch how you mouth. You check. That's the kind of energy we need to have. We need to be pushing ourselves just because we from here. Just because it's our thing.
Facts.
So back
Agree.
after the soapbox.
No, that's real talk. I like it. We're gonna touch on some of the comments that have been made regarding that came after that post from Swanks. And then we got the topic of the day. If we get enough time, I-Bari, we took up more than I told you it would take. I don't know if you want to say
I love it though. It was flowing so well.
It was. I have a social battery over there dying, but it's safe. We good.
Ain't dead yet. Let me go. Ain't dead yet. Here we go.
All right. One post has said, I never hear Darnell Blackest Philip complain yet, but are you complaining about why are your brand music don't get played? Ask yourself that. Let me take that off.
But
Go ahead.
Are we gonna go through all of them? We're just gonna. But Darnell might not be the one who likes to complain. He might not be a complainer. It might not be his thing to socially complain. Maybe he complained among his friends. We don't know, but he's not gonna make a post to complain. That maybe not be him. I don't know him.
What
That
might
might
be
not be his
missing is
thing.
the audacity. Literally just the audacity.
Like
A lot of
that
people
might not
don't
be
have
his
that.
thing.
Hmm.
Next one.
I'm not trying to enter the chat at all, but what about Vidum? Pronounce rhythm, but with a V. Instead of Bram, Vidum. What I think about Vidum?
Move next.
It makes sense, but
does.
No.
okay, hold on. If you gonna tell me Bram, bass rhythm and melody,
Huh?
or Vidum, I gonna choose Bram. That's all I'm saying.
Okay. That's all.
But I love the fact that people who feel like they didn't want to hear Bram, they're offering other, so
Questions, yes.
But you're not changing the music. You're just changing what the music is called. So is it what the music is called is a problem, or is it the music?
people saying both. I don't know.
Both, yes.
You see what I'm saying? You want to change what
I
it's
hear you.
called, but it don't change the music.
Mm-hmm.
What else? Let's see. I must have been even former Senator Janelle Sauro entered the chat. I must have been under a rock or aging. I just learned what Bram music was from the young people. The conversation only been going on about a year and change, so it's fair. It's fair.
The conversation ain't really been going on about a year and change, this conversation been going on probably since like 2017, 2019, something like that. Around the time where I had that conversation about the changes to the flag that brought up as well. It was really hot around that time. That's where it really, the incipient stages of it or whatnot. It's definitely a little time.
And it still ain't
No.
catch yet. That's crazy.
And then that was a year I think they brought that was the year I think they brought Ace I here. He was here like for a lot of the stuff that he was playing, and they were like, why are we doing so much and not seeing? They don't know. They don't
Yep.
they think they know, but they don't know.
It have to be a certain BPM, beats per minute, to be Bram. Like if is a nice grooving 110 BPM is groovy Bram, or Bram is any calypso rhythm music coming out of the VI, BVI, Anguilla on a whole. Serious question.
As not a Brahmin practitioner, I feel like it has to do with the ingredients. Not really the pace of the ingredients. So, Gus Bus, shout out to Gus Bus and Stroker. They have a song called Slow Motion in iTunes. They're available everywhere. Bad tune. But it's pretty slow. It's like all of this is work. All of that is work. All of this is work. And then it's really at this point but they bring in the drum and it's going up in a slow motion, and then it's the same Bram energy that we have. You check, so I don't really think it's a tempo thing. I think it's more of the ingredients. What's in the soup?
Yeah, it's like that chicken curry and curry chicken thing.
Yeah.
That's a whole argument right there. You know what ingredient they need to work on? The lyrics. People
I
will
definitely agree.
Wine. Push back. Stop. Like
I will also say though, the music itself, it's a very dance-driven genre at this point in time. It's similar to the go-go musics, the go-go genres of various states, Miami, DC. So it's really dance-driven, and when you take that into consideration and you really look at the lyrics again, what else you want them to say? You check. I feel like it could definitely expand a little bit more. We could do. I already started, but it's me to my own horn. I have a song on my first soca EP that I brought out that was obviously not promoted well. Called Beg Back Season, where I was equating it to like the time period after Carnival where you done already do all your dirt in the street and then you realize wow, I need to go check my main thing because she's really good. And I would be, remiss if I didn't go fix this situation. But I put it to like a Bram type. It's Bram. It might not be as Brammy as the other, the people who actually, practitioner in the Bram. But it was produced by A Plus. A Plus. A Plus is a Brammer. He's the Brammiest Brammer out there. One of the Brammiest Brammerers in the whole Brammering, history.
One time.
In the drama sphere.
So, fusion band, yeah. And he produced it, and I told him specifically I wanted to be that drive. I didn't call it Bram. I wanted to be that drive, but I just wanted to do something different. And it could have been mixed better, it could have been marketed better. But I feel like when we start to do stuff like that and make it probably take it away from me, so I feel like I ain't tooting my own horn. What Michael Teja does to soca, we need to do to Bram.
Okay.
Michael Teja brings out another, the Patrice Roberts and Michael Teja, when they bring out different songs where they're speaking about stuff that transcend carnival. We need to do that as well. Just open it up a little bit, Paz. Just open it up a little bit,
Well, we got less than a minute. Thank you so much for coming through. I want for you to tell the people how they can reach you, how they can listen to your music and get to know I-Bari.
Thank you for having me. You can find me on social media, Instagram at EYEBAREYE, Facebook at EYEBAREYE, TikTok at EYEBAREYE. On platforms where the music is I-Bari. For music, I-Bari. I'm saying that right now because I do a lot of different types of music, and I want to show people that we as the Virgin Islands, we could do a lot of different stuff. So I'm gonna be doing some indie alternative stuff, and I'm gonna be putting it on another page that is EYEBAREYE. But for this soca conversation, this Afrobeat soca conversation, I-Bari. Listen to me, I-Bari. Look at me at EYEBAREYE. That's what we're going to listen, I-Bari. Look, EYEBAREYE. I try to work on my marketing too, ain't going to be perfect.
You're doing good. Hey, and I didn't get to call you out about how on your page it really don't have no videos of you singing, but fine. But we got snippets.
Yeah, okay. Hold on.
We got a time. We
have some on the I-Bari page, my artist page on Facebook, but my Facebook was just for friends, and I just wanted to be, nice and have one something. That's my Finsta. My Facebook is my Finsta, my fun Instagram. But all my music stuff is on the Instagram. But you're right. You're so right. I can post some.
All right. Hey, this has been another great episode, live broadcast of A Different Day with Jah and
It's your girl Neci.
And I-Bari. Wow.
Mr. Singy himself. Thank you so much for coming through.
Sorry.
You good?
I was about to say the Carlos Furniture jingle. Now I can't get out my head.
Till later, people. Keep it locked on 101.3. Thank you so much. That was great.
I had an amazing time.
Me as well.
Jah, this is gonna be my new thing. I don't want to know about the people we bring on. I want to get to know them on the live. Like it's more educational for me, and I get to really get a better understanding.
Experience, the full experience, just like the audience. And if I was trashing you, you would get to see the face. If I would trash you, would have seen your facial responses and everything, So, yeah.
And my facial responses are definitely known for things. They're well known.
Better speak louder than.
But I'm glad I only got good ones.
Facts, because I don't get all the back. But y'all have a good rest of your evening. I appreciate you again, I-Bari, man. Share this live. I'm gonna go ahead and make clips. When I tag you in the clips, please share those as well. All right.
Definitely.
Thank you so much.
Good to meet you all. Thanks for having me. Blessings.
Peace.
Bye.
Whoa.